Despite the economic challenges facing Nigerians, which may be attributed to policy somersault, many can still go about their daily existential needs to fend for themselves and their families without any apprehension. But in the case of communal crisis, where livelihood, jobs, houses in some communities are at risk as investments in such areas becomes impossible, as a result causing hardship and reduced food production. Hence the need for government to pay more attention in curbing such menace. Correspondent Gabriel Odia takes a look at communal crisis and threat to economic development. The report.
About 40% of Nigerian communities today are plagued with one challenge or the other. Many of these crises arise from land disputes, boundary issues, pans ownership, land grabbing, among others, which have cost the life of several people, displaced inhabitants, mostly farmers, while in other climes it has caused loss of revenue. In Benue State, these activities are not far-fetched, leading to food insecurity in the land. Some respondents bear their minds on the impact of food in the communities.
This has affected the farmers. They are no longer farming the way they used to farm. People have run away from their ancestral homes to other cities to look for refuge. There is no place for them to stay and farm anymore. So the food issue has become a problem, and those people that used to come from far places to buy foodstuff in Benue State here and states, we get revenue from it. They are no longer coming.
Most of these communal crises in Benue State, some of them are politically motivated, while some are age-long crises. Most of the times, politicians are deeply involved. Sometimes they are the ones that procure arms and give it to some political thugs. They now decide to engage in crime for their selfish gains. They initiate this crisis, and when people run away from these areas, they go from house to house looting and stealing farm produce.
Communal crisis has affected some local government in Benue State, like the communal crisis from Bavio and Basombo, Okun Kasinala and local government. It made a lot of destabilization on the people, and a lot of schools were even closed.
While they stated that some of the communal crises are linked to politicians for selfish reasons, they also pin it on some traditional rulers for compromising. Hence, they appeal to government and other relevant authorities to intervene, as no one would want to invest in crisis-ridden areas.
In Constitution, especially like now that you see they are fighting there, that is the Igedes and the Thieves, they are fighting because of land. And the Taraba State, which is the Jukum and the Thief, if you go there, they talk about land. This land has been there before some of us were born, and just because of misunderstanding, level of ignorance, and most people that cause this thing are people that have no impact in the society.
Nobody wants to invest where there is crisis. But what will happen to your investment? So the next thing to do is that people run away from such places if people's means of livelihood are being destroyed. And this thing is impacting our place negatively. The traditional rulers who are supposed to be the custodians of the cultures of the people, some have compromised. They can't speak out the truth. So if the traditional rulers really want to do the needful, call your subject together, tell them the true history of this land. So the traditional rulers have a great role to play if really they want these issues to be resolved.
They said if most communities plagued with one crisis or the other is solved permanently, there would be more investment which will encourage economic growth and development.